วัสดีค่ะแขกผู้มีเกียรติทุกท่านดิฉันขออนุญาตต้อนรับทุกท่านนะคะกลับเข้าสู่งานประชุมวิชาการของ NICT ซึ่งหัวข้อสัมมนาในช่วงเช้านี้นะคะจะเป็นการนำเสนอในหัวข้อ Smart Technology in Asia for Driving Future Economy ดิฉันสิริพร ปานสวัสดิ์และดร.ปรัชญาบุญขวัญค่ะขออนุญาตดำเนินรายการเป็นภาษาไทยและภาษาอังกฤษสลับกันค่ะ
Welcome back to the conference. This is the keynote speech session, Smart Technology in Asia for Driving Future Economy. My name is Rashia and this is my co-host, Siriporn. We'll be hosting this session bilingually in Thai and in English.
ซึ่งในหัวข้อสัมมนาวันนี้นะคะเราได้รับเกียรติอย่างสูงค่ะจากวิทยากรผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิผู้เชี่ยวชาญจากประเทศอุตสาหกรรมชั้นนำในภูมิภาคเอเชียจากประเทศญี่ปุ่นและประเทศเกาหลีใต้ที่ท่านจะมาร่วมแลกเปลี่ยนมุมมองและประสบการณ์นะคะในด้านการกำหนดแผนกลยุทธ์ของแต่ละประเทศรวมถึงแนวโน้มงานวิจัยทางด้าน Smart Technology ว่าจะทำอย่างไรค่ะให้งานวิจัยพัฒนาเข้ามามีส่วนช่วยในการขับเคลื่อนการเติบโตของระบบเศรษฐกิจภายในประเทศให้สามารถไปสู่การแข่งขันในเวทีระดับโลกได้ค่ะ
This lecture will focus on each country's strategic plan and R&D trends on smart technology. On the question, how can R&D contribute to the country's economic growth to be competitive to global economy?
โดยวิทยากรผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิทั้งสองท่านที่ได้ให้เกียรติมาร่วมในงานสัมมนาในวันนี้นะคะได้แก่ดร. Fumihiko Tomita รองประธาน National Institute of Information and Communication Technology หรือ NICT จากประเทศญี่ปุ่นและ Professor จุนซอกฮวงผู้อำนวยการและคณบดี Technology Management Economics and Policy Programsจากมหาวิทยาลัยโซล National University ประเทศเกาหลีใต้ค่ะ
Today we are very honored to invite two world-renowned keynote speakers. The first one, Dr. Tomita Fumihiko, Vice President of the National Institute of Information and Communication Technology, or NICT Japan, and the second one, Professor Hwang Jun-sok, Director and Dean of the Technology Management, Economics and Policy Programs, or TMEP, Seoul National University, South Korea.
และขณะนี้นะคะเราพร้อมแล้วค่ะที่จะได้มาร่วมรับฟังการแลกเปลี่ยนมุมมองนะคะจากผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิค่ะโดยในหัวข้อแรกจะเป็นการแลกเปลี่ยนทางด้าน Lesson Learned Drastic Transformation of Smart Systems and Japan's Future โดยดร. Fumihiko Tomita รองประธาน National Institute of Information and Communication Technology NICT ประเทศญี่ปุ่น
Our first keynote speech will be given by Dr. Tomita Fumihiko, nicknamed Tom, as he quoted that in the resume. He's responsible for the research strategy in the National Institutes of Information and Communication Technology, or NICT, and also for the leadership in future inter-industry ICT innovation projects in the Telecommunication Technology Committee, or TTC, Japan. He received a Bachelor of Science degree in Physics, a Master of Science, and a PhD in Geophysics from the Tohoku University of Japan. His keynote speech is titled Lesson Learned, Drastic Transformation of Smart Systems and Japan's Future. Without further ado, may I invite Dr. Tomita Fumihiko to the stage, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much for kind introduction. It's my pleasure to make a presentation here in front of you. Then today, I'd like to talk about the more healthy and sophisticated smart system. The keyword is a charming ICT for potential users. Charming means the combination of legacy technology plus cutting-edge technology. Then the potential means the future users, because then in these days users don't know the real cutting-edge technologies. Then we would like to show them about the cutting-edge technologies. Then from the NICT, NICT is the same of your institution as the National Institute of Opportunity. Then we are now thinking about the the start point of the phase 3 of ICT. Phase 1 is the creation of the network systems. Phase 2 is the creation of cyber world. And phase 3 is a very important issue, is a new value creation from ICT. However, then as you know well, then history of ICT is only 100. Then check the Japanese history. That is the only 100. However, the population of Japan is almost past the maximum. It was expected very rapidly decreasing. Then there should be the catastrophic change in the society. Then the more sophisticated and healthy system, social system is necessary, created by ICT. Then, from the viewpoint of the society is very important. Then collaboration with a wide variety of vertical players, because our society was supported by many kind of columns or silos for the health care, disaster prevention, or energy care, or something. Then, the Japanese Council of Science Technology decided Society 5.0. Society 1.0 is hunting, 2.0 is agriculture, 3.0 is industry, 4.0 is now information society. Then our Council for Science and Technology decided what is the next, and that is in Society 5.0. Then the keyword of this Society 5.0 is one is the cyber physical system. Then another key point is the super smart society, more healthy and sophisticated society should be built by ICT. And of course, the Society 5.0 is not only the achievement of economic growth. However, the very important part is the well-being for our society. Anytime we have to think about the big five: Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and Amazon. Then our council decided Society 5.0 and selected these 11 systems, including energy value chain, and infrastructure, disaster management, education, and so on. This kind of society applications services is based on the column of the big data and cyber world. Then the communication between the real world and cyber world is very important issue. Then NICT thinking about the collaboration between real world and cyber world. And it is necessary to the sensing technology, network technology, and more important thing is actuation or the value creation of big data. This kind of data-driven innovation is very important in the future. Also, we have to think about the dark side, cybersecurity and privacy. In NICT, we have a very good technology around this part. Why our technology is shown in the tomatoes, I will explain you later. We already start some kind of the good collaboration between industry and local government and main government with many kind of social programs, such as the medical health care, smart city, or prevention, education, and so on. This kind of collaboration in the domestic area is expanding to the world. EU-Japan communications collaborations, and US-Japan, NSF, and NICT co-funding system, and it is now expanding to the ASEAN region, ASEAN IVO, including NICT. Then it is just the outline of NICT. We have mainly two functions. One is the research and development by ourselves, and another one is the supporting or funding to the industry and academia. We would like to use these kind of two roles for making the innovation platforms. The budget is around this size, and personnel is about this size. A little bit small and medium-sized government institutions. Then our president, Professor Tokuda, the why that our professor Tokuda is a chef, I will explain you later. The keyword of our chef is the strategic R&D, open innovation, and global development. We also have public services. One is the Japan Standard Time. We make Japan Standard Time and distribute Japan Standard Time in the domestic area. Another one is the space weather forecast and test and calibration of wireless equipment. We have 6 research institutions: the sensing, networking, creation, and security, and next future ICT. Another big one is the light part of the open innovation of headquarters. We have several local institutions. About 70% researcher is working in eastern part of Japan, and another 30 or 40% researcher is working in the western part. We also have overseas centers in Bangkok, Thailand, and in these days we just opened the Silicon Valley hub in western part of the United States. Then I will explain you some cutting-edge technology of NICT. First one is the sensing. This phased array radar can get the very precise 3D image of the thunderstorm clouds, like this one. Then usual radar can get the very 5 to 10 minutes, getting 5 to 10 minutes. However, then this radar can get the very precise image for 10 to 30 seconds. Of course, this radar is on board the satellite. Okay, this is an example of the ground observation. In these days, the weather forecast says somewhere in this area, that sometime the big rain will occur. However, if using this radar, when and where big rain will start and stop. Okay, then this technology is already on board the satellite. This is an example. This figure is the usual cloud radar. However, the new satellite detects how much rain on the cloud. That is an example. This is the winter of Japan. Then each cloud have some kind of the humidity or water. Then we calculated which part is ice, which part is rain. Then the weather forecast can get the real image, real weather of under the cloud. Then this kind of real humidity or real rain observation is very important for the globe. Next one is the usual cloud satellite, cloud Himawari. However, the recent Himawari has a very precise 500-meter resolution and 10 minutes time resolutions. It's very good. It means what kind of cloud on our head that we can detect from the space. Then we can calculate the real solar irradiance on the ground. That was the per square meter or the watt. We can calculate on these solar radiation. The space resolution is 500 meters and time resolution is 10 minutes. Okay, another one is the communication. This is the YSAN Smart Utility Network. This YSAN system is a small chip, they're very inexpensive, about $1. Then the characteristic of this YSAN is the very good character is more than 10 years operation driven by WA battery. And communication range is automatically expanded by multi-hop transmissions. Then this YSAN system is using by the smart meters. Not only the smart meters, it's expanding to the many kind of sensors. Then the Japanese major electric companies, 10 electric companies, all electric companies, decided to accept this YSAN system for the smart meter, and it was expanding gas companies and sensor network world. Another part is the space communications. In the future, near future, we are thinking about the space communication is supported by not only the radio wave, but also the laser beam. Then we already constructed the very small space communication equipment on the satellite. Then this space communication is expanding to the quantum communications, very secure communications between ground and space. Also, our photonic network team. Our photonic network is supported by the electric node. However, then our team is developing all optical node. All optical signal was used in this system. Then we already get the 10 times energy efficiency by this all optical node. Another part is the multi-core fiber. Our fiber is not just the single. However, there is a limitation of the transportation communications. Then we made the breakthrough of this single core fiber using by the multi-core fiber, the collaboration between the Japanese industries. Now, another part is the resilient ICT of our networks. The mesh network is very useful for the dependable mesh network is very good for the disaster prevention. And another one is the fast aid network. This one is an example of using the unmanned aerial vehicle. Then we can expand the communication area for 20 to 40 kilometers by using this UAV for 2 and 4 hours. We have to think about the dark side. We already made some kind of the biomedical EMC. We would like to check the effect of the radio wave to the human body. In all this, we use the smartphone around the head. However, in these days, we are using the smartphone on the lap. Then this kind of body model is very useful for the many types of communications around us. The next one is the cyber security. It is the NICT of the real-time monitoring of cyber attacks. Each missile shows each cyber attacks from the world to Japan. Because this sensor was mainly sitting in the Japan side, then the many missiles every day and every minute come from the world. That is a real-time monitoring system of NICT. Please check the website of NICT. Another part is the Daedalus. Daedalus is the center part is the internet. Then each donut means each institutions, not only the domestic, but only the foreign institutions. Then the blue part is the live net and dark part is the dark net. Then we can detect some kind of the malware function server or PC is in your institutions. Then we can provide some kind of information of these kind of malware functioned PCs. And that is then these Chinese characters. Fortunately, this institution is not in Japan. Then we expand the collaboration between the domestic area. Over 600 Japanese local government is using this NICT and Daedalus system, and it is now expanding to the ASEAN countries and all over the world. Then one part of the security is this kind of indiscriminate attack. However, then in these days, we have to think about the security platform against APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. Then we already construct the Nirvana Kai. That is a very good tool for the monitoring of the APT. Another part is the analyzing. We would like to construct the communication, the machine communication between 31 languages, then including NICT, we have very good collaboration under the U-Star. There are many kinds of ASEAN countries and European countries can get this kind of universal speech translation under this U-Star system. As you know well, then we have 2020, the Tokyo Olympic and the Paralympic. For this year, until this year, we would like to construct some kind of the machine learning and machine translation systems between many kind of Japanese industries and universities for the sightseeing service, medical services, and shopping services. Another part is the analysis of big data. This is an example of the Disana. Disana is the information distribution platform. The basically real-time Q&A system then provides a big picture of damages and rescue activities to rescue workers and victims. This Disana system is under the basic software of the Wisdom X. Wisdom X is the Japanese Watson. Then last part is a little bit very eccentric. As you know well, then brain sensors, a very good brain sensors, for example, the functional fMRI. The right side is the activity in the brain. Left side is the in front of eyes. Then many kind of brain activity is changing based on the sensing. The red part is very active area. Blue part is very cool, non-active area. Then, if we can calculate these kind of big data, we can decode what you are thinking, what you are watching. Okay? Next, I'll show you. Left side is the real image of the presented clip. Right image is reconstructed from just only the brain activity. Some human face, male or female is a little bit. Elephant is a little bit difficult. However, something is moving left to right. The vertical structure, the human face, or horizontal structure. That's all. Then if we can use this fMRI, what you are thinking, what is your dream? Then this kind of technology is very useful for one of the solutions for the aging society problems, we think. Anyway, in front of us is this kind of society, the connection between the real world and cyber world. We have very good collaboration between NICT. Then also we have very good collaboration between the government, academia, and not only the big business, but also the small business. They have many kind of technologies, ingredients, or foodstuffs. Then we would like to use our technologies showing in the tomatoes. Then the combination of these technologies, we would like to show the future possible world. Another important issue is the social issues, potential needs, feedback to research and development. Then our president is a chef. That is an open ICT innovation platform by ICT. We would like to make a new ICT dishes. As you know well, then sophisticated Japanese restaurant, the communication between restaurant and chef is very important. Then chef decided, what do you eat today? Then sushi or beef steaks. Then we would like to make this kind of system. Anyway, the phase one of ICT is this one. Good technology attracts mass users. This is the European style. Good chef attracts good guests. Quality restaurant style business. And phase two is the home party style, because the guests select good food. That is and come from the United States. Then we have to think about the next part. The social issues have directly connected to the research and development. Then field-oriented and personal service dominant innovation is important. Then we have to think about wide variety of users. Then this kind of market, Asian market, is very popular for us. Then the food court style business. Then let's think about the food court style business. Anyway, in front of us, we don't know about the smart society and natural phenomena, then hypersensing technologies, the big data, then big data plus AI plus charming ICT to the communication tool for the future. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
ค่ะไม่ทราบมีท่านใดมีคำถามร่วมแลกเปลี่ยนไหมคะเดี๋ยวดร.ปรัชญาจะช่วยแปลเป็นภาษาอังกฤษได้ค่ะ
It's discussion time, so if you have questions, comments, or remarks, feel free to do so. And if you're going to ask in Thai, you can do so as well. I'll translate that into English.
ค่ะถ้ายังไม่มีในตอนนี้เดี๋ยวเราไปอีกในหัวข้อหนึ่งเลยละกันนะคะแล้วเดี๋ยวถ้าไงช่วงท้ายถ้าหากท่านมีคำถามอยากจะร่วมแลกเปลี่ยนกับวิทยากรทั้งสองท่านก็ขอเรียนเชิญได้นะคะสำหรับในหัวข้อต่อไปค่ะจะเป็นเรื่องราวเกี่ยวกับ Future Perspectives of Smart Technology and Society in Korea ค่ะโดย Professor จุนซอกฮวงผู้อำนวยการและคณบดี Technology Management Economics and Policy Program จากมหาวิทยาลัย Seoul National University ประเทศเกาหลีใต้
The next keynote speech will be given by Professor Hwang Jun-sok. He's currently a tenure full professor, director, and dean of the Technology Management, Economics, and Policy Programs or TMEP, Seoul National University, South Korea. He received a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Yonsei University, South Korea, a Master of Science in Telecommunication from University of Colorado, Boulder, the United States of America, and a PhD in Information Science and Communication from University of Pittsburgh, the United States of America. His keynote speech is titled Future Perspectives of Smart Technology and Society in Korea. Without further ado, please welcome Professor Hwang Jun-sok.
สวัสดีครับ It's my honor to be in this NICT Annual Conference and Exhibition 2017 My name is Junseok Kwang, as it was announced. And today I'm going to share what kind of a vision that Korea has in terms of smart technology and its society. You may heard already that Thailand is now visioning its R&D sector with the vision you call Thailand 4.0. And also probably with a similar vision, I think Japan has claimed that also it is pursuing the society 5.0. Our previous actually mission statement about this smart technology was actually Korea 3.0 or government 3.0 for the past years with the previous government. But currently today, this year, we have a new government, but we hasn't set up which number we are going to use. So I'm not going to use the number for the version of the ICT development, but I will say that we are pursuing the same dream in Korea, which I will call just smart nation. Before I move on to today's topic, I'd like to share with you, some of the organization where I'm from, and then also some of the things that which I am doing. I've been the director of International IT Policy Program for the last 15 years. This is government scholarship program to support public policymaker and also R&D researchers from many countries, and to pursue probably connecting the digital divide and then contributing to the prosperity for the shared digital economy. And so far we have alumni from our scholarship in Thailand also, almost including our university and also KAIST, which is our sister university. We have 10 alumni supported by our scholarship, and also two graduates actually from our scholarship are from NICT. So one of my mission to be here is also to recruit some smart scholar from NICT or your organization or NATSA. So if you're interested in, actually feel free to go into this website, and this is like another scholarship opportunity in KAIST. I'd like to share one of the websites we have, we call GII. And this GII is actually trying to connect the international experts with the Korean R&D sector and also the commercialized sector. So through this GII, we actually connect the international IT experts with the Korean company, and these are some of the websites that we try to connect the global cooperation, especially in R&D, and also the commercialization of ICT. So we have currently more than 60 country coverage, including all around the world of the area, and more than 300 alumni experts actually listed there, and more than 500 Korean company and experts actually the member of the GII sharing the knowledge. And so you can say this is the platform for us for the knowledge of ICT development for the future society. Well, now I'm going to move on to today's topic, which I'm going to cover. I'm going to shortly cover some of the background where we are having in Korea, especially in terms of IT development. I'd like to share with you what smart technology we are looking at, and then how we can define the smart technology from the perspective of the new vision of the nation. And now I'm going to also, after that, I'm going to share some of the selected area of the technology that current ministry, which is another new name of the new ministry, which we call the Ministry of Science and ICT, and also top 10 application area selected by that ministry, and also the R&D policy we have, and also the strategy associated with it. Well, for Korea, IT is a very important, has been running very important role, and also government played a very important role for the development of Korean economy so far. You can on the slide you may see the like 50 years of difference on the one of the popular area we call the Myeongdong. You can consider Myeongdong as in Bangkok like a Siam, Paragon, or the area. So on your right side, 2010, which is already 7 years ago, they on the Myeongdong area, and the technology from analog to digital, and many of the business already connected to the internet on that period. So this kind of fundamental actually changes was transformed not only in Korea, in other countries too. But one of the importance for the Korean is actually throughout that development and changes, information technology played very important role, and also government has played very important role for the development of IT in Korea side. On this slide, you see that actually how much of the Korean capacity in terms of the ICT development has been doing so far. On the left slide, you see since 1993 until now, and actually the output of Korean ICT has been actually increased more than 10 times, and which is very fundamental, which proves that ICT has been the very fundamental engine for the economic development of ICT. And now Korea in ICT exports actually plays almost 162 billions of US dollar in total exports in Korea. And this is also almost 1/3 of the Korean exports. So you can say that ICT plays a very important, relevant role for the development of Korean economy and society. And if I just give a little bit of milestone, what Korea has stepped so far since 1980s. So actually, through these 4 steps, actually Korean government committed to develop very important key technology associated with that. So in 1988, Korean government actually supported our research institute, like NICT in Thailand, called ETRI, to develop the TDX system independently, so that we can have a sort of independent commercialization of switching board, and also digitalization of the communication in Korea. And so which was the start of how ICT has been actually supported by Korean government in nationwide. And in 1996, you can see that also Korean government actually worked with the private sector, like a company like Samsung and other, also the SK Telecom and the mobile operator, to firstly commercialize the CDMA in Korea. So we tried to come up with one of the medium access technology, which can be actually widely firstly deployed in Korea. So CDMA actually made a very big market in Korea, and since then actually Korean mobile operator and telecom industry has been actually evolved very tremendously. And year 2000, as you can see, that Korea was searching for a broadband wireless, and so actually Korea actually acquired some certain standard technology we call the Vibro, which are still in use in major public facility, and try to actually foster some of the standardization in the mobile environment. And now the Korea actually not only that the Vibro, but the LTE coverage of the mobile sector is worldwide #1 in the index of the coverage. So with that world, so ITU actually selected Korea as one of the #1 country in 2016 in terms of the ICT actually index development. In terms of Korean actually development about the ICT, actually the beginning was actually R&D sector focused on the hardware hardware and the semiconductor of the electronics. And then the Korean actually government, which was initially established as the name of a Ministry of Information Communication, pursued the vision of the e-Korea policy until 2007, where we have like a mobile deployment of a 3.0 generation or 4.0 just starting. And since that, the Korea actually pursued another policy to develop the convergence actually more in deeply in any sector. So since 2007, we can call those, like the period of ICT in Korea as a convergence area where we try to diffuse the ICT convergence in every sector. So which was a sort of the starting point where we are thinking about the smart and also intellectual IT technology in Korea. So now I'm going to move on to the, what kind of smart concept we are having in terms of the development. Well, I think there are many definition you can call the smart. So, but as you know that the smart term actually originally come from just commercialization of a smartphone. And then by using the smartphone, actually it connected to the internet, and it has been used for in many other services we are using these days. But I think in terms of the smart we are pursuing, it is truly providing some capacity that any services actually can provide some interactivity and also connection to the internet, and also with some extended intellectual capability. So-called we call the intelligence. So current technology we are pursuing in every sector we call the smart technology with a certain level of the intelligence equipped, which was fundamentally different from the previous technology. So in this size, we can see that most of the smart technology are connected to the wirelessly connected, and some of the examples are the smart TV and smartphone, and also smart wallet and smart wearable devices. And also the smart devices actually provide some interactivity, so which actually provide a certain level of very free interaction with the technology. So the gap or distance between human and the smart technology are very close. And so that convenience actually fundamentally actually improve, so that actually deployment of the technology can be very popular. And also it actually allows a more predictive future and also uncertainty. And so humans and technology are generally the program before, but now we are actually having the technology which can learn automatically and also self-learning. So with the using of AI. So some of the algorithm that AI or they're using, which allows the predictive knowledge in the intelligent technology. And also they're coming up with some innovative idea from the people. And so which actually allows different level of the technology that we have been using. So we know that everyone is now pursuing already Industry 4.0, and one of the main difference from Industry 4.0 or 3.4.0, we can say, so 4.0 has a capability to have a hyper-connected society. So generally, the main connection for the Industry 3.0 is still it was internet and PC and mobile supported, but with the Industry 4.0, the manufacturing, and actually it has a connection to the everything. So still the customized production and manufacturing become very common, and where the smart technology can be used. Underlying infrastructure to support smart technology, smart factory, actually comes with the intelligence, which we call the AI, and also cloud computing and big data, and also IoT-like things. And another example, I can say that like with the Industry 4.0, we've been using a car with the cruise control and also internet connected. So, but those smartness of the Industry 3.0 or the car technology, cruise control technology, was still one-to-one connectivity into the society. And we are now actually developing in many countries now so-called the unmanned vehicle, and so also some of the Korean company and also R&D sectors are heavily working on this unmanned vehicle. Also worldwide, Google and Telstra are working on these technology. We are actually looking at also the very hyper connected capability of smart car in the coming year with the electric vehicle and other source of the energy. And basically the intelligence associated with the smart car will be fundamentally different from the previous car technology we are having. So, and that is a sort of the concept, a practical level of the concept. We are looking at the smartness in many sectors. Now I'm going to move on to the what kind of core technology selected by our Ministry of Science and ICT. The former name of our current ministry was actually Ministry of Science and Future Planning, ICT and Future Planning. Now it has been shortened as a Ministry of Science and ICT. So actually it can be considered in Thailand the combination of Ministry of Science and also Ministry of ICT. So anyway, there's some core technology I can actually select as a core infrastructure technology selected by our Ministry of Science and ICT, which are like a main ministry government sector responsible for the smart technology, which are the AI and the cloud computing, big data, and mobile, and then IoT. And certainly these technology really has a very complex ecosystem, but we try to create the platform for each of them and then provide a very innovative cooperation within Korea. And so these are the key technology. So core technology selected by our Ministry of Science and ICT is actually, it tried to embody the human complex information processing through the ICT. And so there are a lot of R&D actually investment going on at the AI sector in Korea now. But we try to have an application of those AI in combination with these four infrastructure technology, which is called ICBM, IoT, cloud, and big data, and mobile. I'm going to give a little bit of example of each of the sector, especially if I start with the artificial intelligence. Korea government actually has a certain investment plan until 2020 since last year, and we try to support this AI like initiated. Actually, 2016. Well, in Korea we have some AlphaGo introduction, to beat our Go player, a famous Go player in Korea, and then since that, the awareness of AI become very popular, and the government actually committed to invest and promote the AI industry a little bit more than before, and so we try to invest total of 1 billion on AI sector over last 5 years, and currently also Samsung is now working on some of the new AI or voice-activated intelligence with the Samsung Galaxy, and then which they call the Bixby. And so actually, with the competition of Siri and in Apple phone, Apple iPhone, and then now it's now commercialized, and now they have a plan to connect this Bixby intelligence with all the appliance that Samsung or the Korean actually electronics are actually providing as a consumer electronics. And there are some other also R&D is actually going on. Already in Japanese NICT actually introduced that they have R&D sector to support many languages, and also Korean government actually now is trying to also support like also these AI capability with the language capability with many countries, so which become very very big in the market. Now, like IoT and mobile is another network that Korea government tried to actually invest. And so since 2009, Korea government eagerly invested in IoT sector, and also it tried to aim 30 billion by 2012 in the market of this IoT sector. So IoT become one of the very important vision for all the Korean industry, and it actually facilitate the smart nation in all different in industry sectors. And so Korean actually now rank as a second on IDC, so the total index of opportunity index in ranking of IoT. And also Korea has been actually in terms of worldwide communication, has been one of the promising in the mobile and IoT sector. And we have a plan to commercialize and show the 5G commercialization in Pyeongchang will be in the coming year 2018, and that will be one of the milestone time that for the Korean industry to claim that another level of changes for the infrastructure of supporting IoT through the 5G mobile and its infrastructure. And also the big data and cloud computing is another area we are focusing in terms of the investment. And every year we are expanding on the big data market investment more than almost 30% each year. We try to reach more than 366 million by 2020 of its investment on the big data from the public sector of the ICT. And also the Minister of Science and ICT actually selected some major tasks to utilize the big data in connection with the national strategy project. And those are the like a 3D social and real-time information data, and comfort data for the precision of the medical care, and also the scientific big data. So this is some of the government's support for us to support some of the big data utilization in public sector. And also the government also made some alliance with the domestic and foreign platform companies to pursue worldwide launching, software as a services, and so SaaS. And then also it launched the open cloud platform which called the PASTA in Korea, which actually in combination with many other PaaS platform that we have. So those become very popular the platform for the cloud computing now in Korea. And so also so far we had that concept called advanced ICT or IT Korea. Now Korea government actually tried to promote another level of IT with the we called IIT. So IIT means actually intelligent information technology. So that intelligence actually comes from 4 domains of the technical and social capability of the IT. So actually, it tried to capture some automatic decision making in the technology we are developing or we try to commercialize. And also, we try to actually promote the autonomous evolution of IT, so that we can call the intelligence as a certain its own autonomous evolution. And also, real-time response is very important characteristics of the intelligence of IT. So actually, we try to actually further develop the broadband capability and also infrastructure capability. So even though currently the Korea has a very good coverage of a mobile broadband, also the landline broadband infrastructure, we believe actually those infrastructure will be materialized quite soon. So then now Korea government is planning another level of the capacity building of infrastructure for the nation, so that we can actually prove in a real time in any sector of the science or healthcare. So which will be probably another level of a big investment for the investment for Korea. And finally, also datafication of the things costs a lot for the government. At the beginning of the internet, the digitalization or informatization of the many of the content and the traditional sector was actually main mission. Now, datafication, to support IoT and other big data is also very challenging issues, and also these datafication cannot be done, especially in the public sector or R&D sector, without the government support. So government now is trying to actually, to support this datafication in all the traditional life of Korea, including traditional agriculture and fishing area, and also education, and also the public welfare services and things like that. So I believe this datafication actually will symbolize the Korea into the next level of intelligent country or the smart nation with all these data to be datafied by many things. So now I'm going to move on to my with these 5 technologies chosen by our government as a strategic area, what are the top 10 application area to support the smart technology by our ministry? Well, I would not say that these 10 area covers all the life, that all the technology that can be affected by the Industry 4.0 or smart nation we are pursuing, but at least these would be the sort of the starting point for Korea, especially from the public R&D sector, where we can actually pursue how the government actually can help private and also the public places where they need some R&D. And also practical R&D that we can have. So those areas include robotics and also implantable machines and smart functions and factories, and also smart cities and blockchains and self-driving cars, wearable technology and 3D printing and connected homes, or some kind, we call the smart homes, and also genetic analytics with some biotechnology in place. Well, these are distributed in many of the R&D sector in Korea, but also main ministry who are covering all these areas, the Ministry of Science and ICT, but also other areas like Ministry of Education and also Ministry of the Health, and actually also in coverage of these some of the area for the R&D. I'm going to share just a few examples of what we are doing and as a development in Korea now. So in terms of the intelligent robot, I'm going to show that by the support of the Korean government, with the cooperation with academics and also the commercial, the public R&D unit called the ETRI, we have one of the symbol robotic technology, what we call the Hubo robots. And so this Hubo robot, so on the left side you see the Hubo robots are driving an electric vehicle, and so as a sort of symbol that how much of intelligence it has like a human. And so it was actually developed by the KAIST research, and now actually in the stage of the commercialization, but also it actually win some of the robotic competition by the DARPA in the United States. So this shows one of the example, that a recent example. And now government R&D investment in Korea in the field of intelligent robot total 1.1 trillion won from the 2009 to 2016. And then average annual growth rate about what I say almost 30%, 27% from 2009 to 2015. Well, the smart factory, which I mentioned before, is another area that government tried to actually provide as a sort of the standard infrastructure for the infrastructure for the industrialization of the smartness in Korea. So in POSCO, POSCO has a smart factory platform called POSFrame, and this POSFrame actually monitors, manages the facility status of the remotely through the various media, and try to use VR technology and AR technology in the real practice of the manufacturing in many POSCO in manufacturing unit. Now they actually try to create a platform or location-based platform and the transportation system in throughout these platform, so that it can be standardized into many manufacturing sectors. So POSCO aims to provide this kind of smart factory building for other industry or other companies. Now, also Korea Telecom, which is one of the main telecommunication provider, also tried to provide some platform for the smart factory through the IoT technology, which they call the IoT makers. So using Korea Telecom's LTE-M standard, it tried to connect the IoT platform for the manufacturing environment through the KT solution. And also it tried to improve its solution from the from the business unit to business unit and the customer unit to the manufacturing unit and the industry unit. Well, on this picture, probably you see one of our smart city, one of the biggest smart city we call Songdo. Well, in Korea we have more than 3 or 4 symbolize smart city, which has been actually recognized by the local cities and also has a certain fund and support to the intelligence or smartness of those cities by the government. And in these cities, especially the Songdo city is actually close to the main transportation hub of Korea, which we call the Incheon. And then this Songdo city actually tried to reach the smartness in many public like intelligence, for example, environmental control and electricity control or disaster recovery, and also the social security and policing, and also the transportation system. So actually, there also the Songdo Smart City actually committed to provide certain business unit, especially with the smart city capabilities. So many R&D, technical R&D actually company and intelligent firms has been actually localized in the Songdo Smart City area, and also have a certain support as an economic free zone with the, tax support and the tax-free support for the international companies. And so I think the Songdo Smart City is one of the area. I believe actually it is not completely goal that it is, but by year 2020, Songdo tried to actually provide a certain level of the transportation and social safety and the economic intelligence in the Songdo area, so that actually the smart city actually can be one of the symbol of Korea. The fintech is another area that we, with a certain intelligence of IT in Korea. This fintech is mostly led by the private sector of the Korea. And so like one of the P2P loans and funding are going on, what we call the honest fund. And these are the like P2P lending intermediary services, which actually are providing some different level of the concept of fintech, and so it's actually popularized in Korea now with the actually new way of providing these funding capability for the customer, and also using the concept of Bitcoin also in Korea. Like coin plug, something called the Bitcoin trading platform we call the coin plug actually has been popularized with the support of one of the main bank called the Korean Bank. And so it uses a blockchain-based overseas remittance technology to support, and this is world's second most blockchain patent applicant in Korea after the IBM in coin plug. And another fintech that of the emerging in Korea is actually internet banking. So without any banking offices in offline, that there like many, Korea actually selected some of those internet banking consortium. One of the main bank, the like Kakao Bank, which actually started from the SNS company, and then it actually creates a consortium as a fintech industry. And this Kakao Bank actually now gathers a lot of content from the customer, and now it is actually becoming to one of the major fintech industry in Korea. So you see now the fintech is actually very flourishing and emerging in Korea now. So to support this practical smartness of the IT in Korea, and the Korea current ministry actually committed to provide three actually main area of the three policy. So current government tried to, in order to promote the smart technology R&D policy in Korea, it tried to support the securing, some securement of the global level of intelligent information IT. Well, these intelligent of information IT need to have a certain level of commitment of the patent and also human capital capability, which means that the knowledge workers working on these areas in academia and R&D sector, so including AI, cloud, big data, and mobile and IoT sector. So we try to actually promote those education and R&D to come up with some of the main optimal solution to secure some of the main algorithm to be used in AI technology, and also to support a high level of the value data and big data. It tried to actually provide some of the important capability acquiring the datafication from the many different industry, and also try to provide supporting the good optimized network environment to collect such data from the every IoT environment. And the second one is actually promoting, second strategy of the R&D policy is actually promoting intelligence of IT, informatization of all industry. So now for Korea, the IT is not just one separate type of industry, but we consider IT as a sort of the main platform of pursuing new economy or smart nation. So as I mentioned, like a 5 technology or five main area of application we selected, we try to actually promote these intelligence in all the industry. And so, which is also very important. But in order to commercialize all these things, the regulation and also policy actually is very important to minimize any social cost, to change the environment of the real practice what we are having. So Korea government actually tried to deregulate many of the sector which was actually has many interest group, and which is also one of the main strategy that Korea of R&D policy. Finally, we tried to preemptive response through the reformation of the social policy. Well, currently the Korea government actually committed to solve many Korean, like the social problem of Korea, which has been actually accumulated over the past 10 or 20 years. And so, as a mission of actually changing solving the social problem of Korea in many sectors, but also it tried to actually reform the society so that actually the society will be very friendly to cultivate the creative idea and talents, and also with the digital dividend or the contribution can be actually well diffused to the many people in Korea. So it tried to actually accompany the industry sector with a certain employment and also welfare and the education sector together. So, and then try to foster these the like environment and of accomplishing the smart nation in Korea. So which actually is sort of the reform that we are trying to do. So under these 3 main policy track that we try to have, for each promotion or the policy, we have certain like a strategy to enhance these technology policy activation. Firstly, to secure the global level of intelligent IT, we have 3 tasks or strategy that we established by our ministry. So the first one is the establishment of the database society that easily searches the desired data or create values. And secondly, it tried to carry out the basic science and also basic research that will support the international intelligent IT. And also, it tried to datify the data generated from all the things, and then that has been actually stocked by the many different value chain of the traditional the industry. Now it tried to foster the hyper-connected the environment in Korea. The second the policy strategy, we have the promotion of intelligent informatization of all industry. In order to do that, we have also made a certain fourth strategy to promote that strategy. The first one for that one is improving the quality of public services by adapting these intelligent IT to those services, and also promoting some innovative partnership and utilizing this intelligent IT ecosystem. And finally, also providing safe and precise medical services. Also, the healthcare and the medical is a very also important sector to promote these smart technology activation. And finally, also try to promote some of the area where the intelligent or the 3D printing can be used in the e-platform environment and also e-commerce environment in Korea. And finally, try to provide some preemptive responses to the social reform. And so we created a promotion strategy to creating new opportunity for the intelligence information society through the education tailored to the each individual level. So actually government committed to reform the education sector to provide like education 4.0 or the smart education. And also it tried to diversify the automation and forms of employment through these smartness promotion, and also try to establish some legal system and ethics to support that intelligent information society. So there are actually still big hurdle in the society that how much of the intelligence we can actually ask as a certain legal responsibility, and there's actually very uncertain area there where the social consensus is needed, which may cause a very big social cost in the future. So we try to actually work on all those things in advance, actually to minimize those transition challenges and hurdles. And also we try to respond to some of the adverse effect of AI and cyber threat. And then now the technology research and also some of the social science research actually combining the convergence research area to prepare this area in Korea. Well, current government actually also newly established another ministry actually to support these kind of transition or in the venue to make the Korea like a 4.0 or the smart nation, which we call the Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises and Startups. So Korea government actually had these units in the lower level of government previously as offices. Now that Korea actually made these offices as a ministry. So Ministry of SME and Startups are now also covering of some of these commercialization and also promoting ventures to actually promote the smartness of smart technology in Korea. So, well, I think, so in terms of these main commitment, the Korea government actually made a certain ecosystem, which is the Ministry of Science and ICT, the leading ministry, which will be covering these smart technology mission and policy. But there are actually cooperating Ministry of the SME and Startup, and Ministry of Industrialization, and also Ministry of Education, and Ministry of the Health and Medicine. And those are some of the main ministry and who are working on these together with the Korean government, in the Korean government. Well, that's my big picture about what's going on in Korea. I'll be glad to answer. I just glanced at what's going on in Korea. currently, our new government just started this year. Actually, more of the project or the detail will be coming up at the end of the year. Probably, I think there will be actually under this big picture, probably more detailed in the project will be actually announced in the level of the Korea. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'll be glad to hear your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Huang.
ขอบคุณครับ
I think we have some time for quick questions and remarks and discussion. So please feel free to do so. แปลเป็นไทยได้นะครับ เดี๋ยวถ้าเกิดถามเป็นไทยเดี๋ยวผมแปลเป็นอังกฤษให้ครับ Yes, please.
Hi, Professor. Thank you for your presentation. It's very informative. I'd like to ask you about the ecosystem in Korea. I'm not sure about in Korea, the situation is similar to Thailand. Like, if you come up with like a product, you have to, to do the prototype, you have to go to China to, come up because it's more economic, something like that. So in Korea, do you have something like you can do the prototype by yourself because you already have like all streams, like upstream, downstream, middle stream, something like that.
Yeah, I think, I think Korean R&D has been actually well commercialized and also privatized a little bit in Korea. But still, I would say commonness with the Thailand, still the government unit and public R&D plays very important role of the, so for example, like ETRI, and also we have a KIST, and also we have some of the, so there are big fund from Korea Research Foundation actually going on to these pure R&D but also practical R&D sector. So I would say that the public sector plays very important role, but the private sector of creating these ideas become very popularized. For example, but currently Korean ventures are now not only just working on the Korean market only. So most of the venture, actually Korean venture, the small medium companies are actually pursuing for the global market. So actually they pitch their products mostly for the global market, and also many of the funds are not only from the local national fund, but also those are actually coming from Silicon Valley or EU fund or Japanese and fund. So we have many also Japanese investors actually supporting. So I will say the current Korean R&D environment is very globalized in a say. And also we have many R&D researchers on the public unit from all around the world. So Korean R&D researchers are not just Korean, but also many from China and also India and also the Vietnam and Thailand. So we have some like public researchers, and also in private company like Samsung or the big company, they have many engineer researchers from all around the world. So that is actually the environment that Korea has. So I would say that when we pursue the smart nation or the Korea 4.0 or something like that, that actually assumes that the market is not Korea but the globalized Korea. So we expect that in the completion of Industry 4.0, more than 10% of our citizens will be from all around the world. And so Korea society has been very homogeneous so far, but now our society actually committed to have transform our society with worldwide citizen as a formal citizen and formal experts of Korea. So I can say indirectly to your questions a little bit different. Okay, thank you for your question.
Okay, I think we have some time for quick questions and remarks. If no, so let's...
there's one in the middle.
Yes.
เกี่ยวกับนโยบายช่วงท้ายนะครับที่บอกว่ามีนโยบาย Micro Enterprise Policy เนี่ยนะครับทีนี้อยากจะเรียนถามว่าถ้าหากว่าEnterprise มันลดขนาดลงจำนวน Staff ก็ลดลงใช่ไหมครับแล้วทีนี้มันจะมีปัญหาต่อการจัด สวัสดิการจัดอะไรต่างๆให้กับเจ้าหน้าที่ไหมในเมื่อ enterprise มันลดลงมันไม่ใช่แบบขนาดใหญ่เหมือนเดิมนะครับ
โอเคครับขอบคุณครับ so the question is regarding the micro enterprise policies if the enterprise is shrinking in size are there going to be any problems regarding the welfare and services for the employees is it correct okay
So if I'm correct, I think you want to know that what's Korean policy, especially for the small and medium enterprises.
right
Frankly speaking, compared to the previous administration, previous government, current government committed to promote more small medium enterprises. So I think that's actually a different kind of policy government strategy. So the previous government or administration or the former previous government, which was actually from the Conservative Party of Korea, actually tried to promote our industrialization by supporting big companies in general. So still, pro big, conglomerates like industrial policy supporting KT, Samsung, or big companies as LG and things like that. Which has actually good benefit at some time, if you need a very capital concentric investment need in the R&D sector. But sometimes if we need to actually have a very intelligent and human-centered technology and that to be acquired, and probably another innovation should come from the small medium enterprises. So current government actually committed to balance that. Current government is not just anti, big company or the conglomerate policy, but current government tried to, still keep the promotion of the big industry, which we have IT or Samsung, but try to balance the good ecosystem to support that big industry. So that's why we actually created the new Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises and on those startups. So, but we are in the transition period now. We are in the time of appointing our minister. So I think our minister of this new ministry has not been appointed yet. There are very political hard going on because of the importance of this ministry. But in the long run, I will say that there will be actually more support from the public for these small medium enterprises, and also we believe that these small medium enterprises will be the also sort of main driver in our Korea 4.0 or smart nation in the long run when we have this technology evolution. So I would say that our country will be more close to the Silicon Valley than previous, like a traditional economy like Detroit. And so I would say our economy will be more close to the Silicon Valley than the Detroit or Chicago that we used to have. So which I can probably, and where the many small firms will be, but those are already, global firms. And then in terms of the human capital to support these startups, we actually committed a lot for the education, professional education. So for the, the engineers and the startup or the people professional to be equipped with a global mind so that they can actually pursue their idea in the worldwide. And also try to have them have a very good international connection. And as you see in this, one of the slides I showed before in GII network, this is actually not only just Korean experts network. These are sort of the one snapshot you can see that Korea tried to actually utilize a very worldwide experts hub or network intelligence co-working together, and then try to provide the platform so that actually small medium enterprise or experts can be benefited out of these experts. Okay. Did I answer to you? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think we are running out of time, so let's take the question offline for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
ค่ะต้องขอบคุณ Professor จุนซอกฮวงผู้อำนวยการและคณบดีจาก Technology Management Economics and Policy Program จากมหาวิทยาลัยโซล National University ประเทศเกาหลีใต้ค่ะและในนามคณะผู้จัดงานประชุมวิชาการและนิทรรศการของ NICT ประจำปีพุทธศักราช 2560 ดิฉันขอเรียนเชิญคุณกุลประภานาวานุเคราะห์ผู้ช่วยผู้อำนวยการสำนักงานพัฒนาวิทยาศาสตร์และเทคโนโลยีแห่งชาติบนเวทีเพื่อให้เกียรติมอบของที่ระลึกขอบคุณแก่วิทยากรที่ได้มาร่วมแลกเปลี่ยนประสบการณ์และมุมมองในงานประชุมวิชาการของ NICT ในวันนี้ขอเรียนเชิญค่ะ
On behalf of the organizing committee of NICT ACE 2017, may I invite Ms. Kunpapa Nawanukro, the NASDA Vice President, to present a token of appreciation to our keynote speakers. Thank you. Up to the stage, please.
ไปคุณพี่เชิญ
ขอกราบขอบพระคุณดร. ฟูมิฮิโกะ โทมิตะ รองประธาน National Institute of Information and Communication Technology NICT จากประเทศญี่ปุ่น
May I invite Professor Fumihiko to the stage, please. และวิทยากรอีกหนึ่งท่านค่ะขอขอบพระคุณ Professor จุนซอกฮวงผู้อำนวยการและคณบดี Technology Management Economics and Policy Program Seoul National University ประเทศเกาหลีใต้ And may I also invite Professor Tomita to the stage for a group photo, please. Please stay on the stage. We have a group photo.